My name is Chloe Newallia, Chloe O'Malley. If you haven't figured out already, I'm Mary's daughter. Would have been involved with the heritage group in Lewsburg and Killeen, I suppose since maybe 9 or 10 years of age, watching mum and helping out with different things. And now I live on Innisfree of the Aran Islands, and I manage the local cooperative here in Community Development Centre. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. So I'm just going to start the video now, and I'll pause it and bring your attention to a few different pieces. So this will just kind of be a basic run through of Instagram, and we look at some different, I suppose, tips and tricks as we go throughout it. So Instagram is becoming increasingly popular. I suppose with the younger generations, my own even younger sisters wouldn't really have much interest in Facebook or don't even have Facebook accounts. Instagram is really where things are growing at the minute. And it's really picture and image based. So you can put text under your post, but it's really about the images and videos. So this is what your main homepage would look like. At the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see a little house. So that brings you back to your homepage. And if you're following pages, such as Lewsburg Killeen Heritage is following the National Library of Ireland, you will see their posts, pictures and videos in your supposed timeline on your homepage. The second kind of button then on the bottom left kind of middle is a little search kind of magnifying glass. So when you're in Instagram and you press on this, it will bring you to the search page. So just bring this forward a little bit here. So it brings you to the search page, which looks like this. So on the top, you can type in to search for different things, whether it's shopping or travel or heritage or whatever you're interested in. And it will show you a range of other pages that you might like to follow. The middle button then, which looks like a square and a plus, is how you can add a post to your Instagram. So this is kind of how you would create a post. So when you press this, it gives you a number of options, post, story, or live. So post is kind of a permanent post. So once it goes up, it stays there for as long as you want it to. A story is quite limited. It goes up for about 24 hours and then it disappears unless you choose to save it to a highlight, which I'll show you later on. And then a live is if you want to go live and talk about maybe a story or something that's happening in your heritage group, you can go live onto Instagram. There is a way to save your live, but sometimes it can just disappear afterwards as well. So if you want to post something, it'll give you options to get into your gallery and to pick maybe a picture or image you've saved from area that you want to put up. The next button then over from that is a little heart shape, and that kind of shows you your likes and comments and who's been interacting with your page. So you can see who's liked your photos, who's commented, who's followed you, who's unfollowed you, or the different engagements that's happening on your Instagram page. And then the final button in the bottom right-hand corner, it's the circle, and it will have maybe your image or your logo of your organization, and that brings you back to your own homepage. So on your own homepage, you'll see up here where it says posts, you can see 84. So I'm just using Lewsburg as an example. So they have posted 84 different posts. So that's those squares of pictures and images you see down here. Next, you have followers. So this is how many people is following your page. So they have 67 followers. And then next is who you're following. So Lewsburg Killeen Heritage is following 88 different people. So over here, this is where you can, if you're making a personal account, maybe put an image of yourself or something that you like. Or if it's an organization, it's kind of keep your logo here. And usually they recommend not to change that. So when people are searching for you, they can identify this. It's also kind of good to keep your logo the same and consistent across social media. So maybe your profile picture on Facebook or on your like page will be the same as what's on your Instagram or your Twitter. It's easier for people to find you, and it just keeps your page more recognizable. On Instagram, there's not a lot of space to describe who you are, so you have to be really concise and short in saying who you are. Another kind of downfall with Instagram is when you post, you can't share a link. So whatever is the most important link, such as your website or maybe your GoFundMe, it's really important that you put this underneath what they call your bio and keep your link here. And then at different points when you're referencing your website or your GoFundMe link or whatever is the most important page you want to bring their attention to, you can just say on your story or in your post, link in bio, and people will go back to your homepage and they'll see this blue link and they'll know that's how they can get to it. If you go viral and get into the blogging and influencer world, I think once you hit about 10,000, you get to unlock this feature on your story where people can swipe up to access a link straight onto the website. But I think it'll take us all a couple of years to get to that stage. Underneath this, then you have a circle. So this is where if you put something on your story, which is up where your logo is, if you put something up there for 24 hours and you decide you really want to save that to come back and look at it again or for other people to view, there's an option which I'll show you later on how to save to a highlight. But this is where your highlights get saved down here. And you can rename them and edit them and remove things from the highlight and add things to the highlight as you go on. Then down here where these little 9 gridded squares, this is showing your main homepage. So this is kind of like your shop front. Unlike Facebook, when you go on, you might see a post that's pinned to the top of the page, or maybe the last few posts you've done. This does show your latest post, but it's really, I suppose, on Instagram, all about the aesthetic look of your page. Some people put a lot of effort into the themes and colors that they have on their page, because this is really what will draw people's attention, and they'll make up their mind quite quickly if they want to follow you or not, just by having a few short scrolls on your page. The next button here, so I'll just bring it forward a little bit. Just here in the middle, this one here that looks like a little TV with an aerial. This is called IGTV. So on Instagram, sometimes you can be a little bit limited in the videos you add to your story. So if your video is over 1 minute long, they would recommend uploading through IGTV. Now, all that I'm showing you here today on Instagram is off the Instagram app on your phone. So Instagram really works better as a phone-based app, but there is one advantage to the IGTV. If you type instagram.com into your desktop, your laptop, or your computer, and you sign into your account and you have a long video that maybe is 5 or 10 minutes long, and you don't want to download that onto your phone and take up space, you want to put it directly from your laptop onto your Instagram, then I would recommend logging into your Instagram through your laptop or computer and choosing to upload it through IGTV. And Instagram will let you do that for IGTV. It won't let you post for a picture or video on a grid post or a story, but it will work for IGTV. So that can be quite helpful if you have a large video that you don't have the space on your phone for it. And then the final piece just over in the corner, it's a little square with a person, and this is tagged photos and videos of you. So if somebody tags your page or tags you in something and you accept to being tagged in it, it will usually show up here. So I think there's just one example on this page. This is just showing the 2 IGTVs that is on Lose We're Killing Heritage's page. And then if I just go over here, yeah, so over here in the tagged photos, he has tagged Lose We're Killing Heritage. They're running a competition at the minute for people to enter their own photos. So they tag them in a photo. So you'll see the photos and videos that you're tagged in here. And if you're tagged in something you're not happy with, you can usually just go to the settings to remove yourself from the tag if you don't want to have it there. So I'll just stop sharing for a second to get the next video. But feel free to ask any questions you might have at this point.
Chloe, the settings are slightly different on my phone than what you like. Where no, let me go back again. Sorry.
I'm using an Android phone as well, so there might be a slight difference in an iPhone. Maybe have you an iPhone?
I have an iPhone because my plus my add a post is up at the very top.
Okay.
And I have a little shopping, but there was one that you had that I didn't have. But anyway, I get the gist of it. Yeah.
Yeah. There is, just when I share this now again here. This will come up here for me now. On your homepage up here in the top right hand corner, is this the plus you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know, it's down the bottom.
Okay, yeah. There's 2 options on Instagram. So when you're on your homepage up here in the top right hand corner, this plus will let you add something to your story or your post on your grid as well, and down here. So you kind of have two options. This bar down here and up here. But that one in the corner can sometimes disappear when you're not on your own homepage. So I think in this video, I'm just going to show you maybe about the bio. So see here, it says Louisburgh Killing Heritage. So that's the website. If you want to change this, you can just click on Edit Profile to go into where your information is about yourself. So you'll have your name, your username, and then your website and your bio. This is that short, concise information you have telling people about who you are. And sometimes as an organization, it's good to set up your Instagram as a business page because it can allow you to get more access to insights. So once you hit 100 followers, it'll tell you the breakdown of male, female, gender, location, who's following you, and the most active time of day they're online. So maybe you're better to schedule your post to go out or to post around 9 o'clock on a Sunday because everyone's sitting down on their phone. But it will tell you that once you reach 100 followers. So to change your bio, I just deleted the information that was here in the middle, was Louisburgh Killing Heritage, just backspace that. And then I had previously copied the GoFundMe link. So I just held down with my finger and I got the paste option and pasted the link in there. And then I went back up to the top to save that. And then it appears back on the homepage in here. So now the GoFundMe link is in here. So sometimes it just takes practice with Instagram to play around with things, but it's pretty straightforward after a while, how to change your settings or change your information. So when your page is set up as a business page, you have these options here for promotions and insights. But to make the best use of insights, it's better once you have 100 followers, Instagram will give you more data. And promotions then, if you have maybe something you want to sell through your business, you can set up an option for the shop to sell t-shirts or CDs or DVDs or whatever it is your company is selling through Instagram. And there's ways as well to pay for marketing under the promote buttons like you would pay for Facebook ads. Yeah, so hopefully you can see my screen again. So in this last video now that I'm going to show you just how to, I suppose, share a post onto Instagram and then add it to your story. So I've clicked on that little square with the plus to add something, and then you get these options here. So there's feed post, reel, story, story highlight, IGTV, and promotion. So we want to do a feed post today. So I've clicked on that and I've gone into my gallery on my phone. And I've already created a post through Canva, which Hassan is going to show you later on how to do the magic on this. And so we have the logo in and the text that we want to add to Instagram. And I selected the picture. Now this little option in the corner, it's kind of squares stacked on top of each other. If you press that, it will allow you to post multiple pictures and videos together on Instagram. But usually the limit or the maximum is 10 in one go. So I've selected the photo that I want to upload. And then on the bottom, it will automatically give you options for editing. So there's different colored filters. Maybe you'd want to put it in black and white or change it around. And then if you press edit, you can change things like contrast and brightness. And, you know, you might want to put a border on it sometimes or change the shape or the saturation depending on shade and light. So you can play around with that sometimes, but I was happy with how it looked so far. So I just press next. Then it gives you an option to write your caption. So you can write usually as much text as you want here, but any links you put in or links to websites won't work. You won't be able to click on it with your finger on the app on your phone to go there. And the best bet is putting in link in bio to refer people back to your page to get back to it. If you select tag people like Facebook, you can tag other accounts on Instagram. You can add a location of where you are, or maybe that photo was taken. There's an option to add fundraisers to promote. And then down here, there are options to also post at the same time. If you have linked your Facebook, Twitter, or Tumblr account, you can create a post on Instagram and put up your picture and your caption, and then just turn on these buttons for it to go out at the same time on other platforms, which can be handy and save you time going into each individual platform. So I just typed in the caption here. I said link in bio because we were promoting the GoFundMe page with this post. I think I selected a location of Louisburg. So people on Instagram that are from Louisburg or tourists coming to the area will see this when they're searching the area. And we didn't tag anyone in the post, but we put a couple of hashtags, and hashtags work really well on Instagram, because if you're interested in something like heritage or history, you can choose to follow that specific hashtag, and then in your timeline all day, anywhere in the world, someone posts something with that hashtag, you'll get to see it in your timeline. So we added a couple of hashtags. I think I heard from some business person one time that you need about 11 hashtags to really be effective, but sometimes you don't want to overdo it either on your post, have too many of them. So when you're ready and you're happy with how your post looks, you just press share. And it takes maybe a second or two to upload, and you can refresh your page by swiping down. And now you'll see it will appear here on the grid. So to add that then to your story, when your post is up, you'll see the heart button to like it, the speech bubble to look at comments, and this little arrow here means you can add it to your story or send it on to somebody else in a private message. So when you press this arrow, there's the option to add to your story. So when the arrow is selected, you pick add post to your story, or if you wanted to send it to another organization or your friend or something, you would just click send beside their name, or you can search their name. But if you click this option here, add post to your story, it will help you bring the post onto your story. So it will look like this at first. It will have your logo and your username and whatever caption that you have put up with your picture. But if you click it once more, it will take away, just one second now when it clicks. When you click it once more, it will take away all that and just leave your username on Instagram. So it depends which way you want the post to go up. You can have less clutter, or you can have your logo in it twice and your name if you want people to remember it. So you'll see buttons down here called your story and close friends. So when you select your story, it'll go up on your story, or there's also an option when you press send to, you can click add to your story again or send it on to someone. Sometimes people create close circle groups when they just want to share specific posts with maybe people in their organization internally, or they have a group of people who they know are really interested in something, or if you have your private account, you might just want to share it with family or friends. So up on the top, then there's a number of different options for writing, I suppose, on your post or creating your captions. So in the corner, you see 2 letter A's. So that's your text for adding text into your story. This kind of scribble line is how you can draw or write or maybe put an arrow or a circle around something. This smiley face in a sticker, I'll show you the options of that in a second. This one here with the sparkles can add filters. This down arrow here can help you save what you're about to add to your story onto your device again. And this option here can be to insert links, but they don't always work unless you have about 10,000 followers to get those swipe up options, or maybe if you have a shop and you're paying for ads and you want to sell something on Instagram, you can try that. And this X here allows you to cancel out of it if you don't want to upload it, if you change your mind. So I'll just bring you forward. This sticker here has the most options. So that's just showing how you pressed on the 2 A's for text. So I'm typing again, link in bio, to emphasize people to go onto the bio to get the link. And you can pick different options if you want the text to change color, or you want it to kind of come in across the screen fading to get people's attention, so it looks kind of more dramatic than just being static on the page. So this is showing the pens. There's different markers and colors you can add to the background if you want to jazz it up or make it look cool, because sometimes people are tapping through their phones on the same post all day, so you really want to catch their attention. So this is that square I was telling you about earlier. There's a lot of different options in here. There's hashtag. So once you click that, it allows you to add 1 hashtag to your story. There's the mention button if you want to tag other accounts, location again to say where you are or where the photo might be. The question box is handy if you want to engage with your followers. So you might say, can anyone remember what year this photo was taken? And then people can type their answer into the box and you can reshare the stickers later on. GIFs are like funny stickers. There'll be an example of this in a second. There's options for music, quizzes, and polls. So a poll, maybe just say, do you like this photo? Yes, no, and people can vote for either one. And the more people that vote, it'll tip the poll, and you can share the results at the end. Quiz can allow for 3, 4, 5 options maybe to a question, time, the weather, and there's a good few options here you can play around with to make your story more engaging. So I'll just go forward to the GIFs. And we can share these videos with you afterwards if they're interesting. So that was me typing in Mayo, thinking I'd be smart as me from County Mayo, but all that came up was mayonnaise. So I had to be a bit more specific and say County Mayo and to find the Mayo crest. So sometimes Instagram has that really international mind. So Mayo, I suppose the Americans are putting in their mayonnaise. So you have to say County Mayo or maybe Lewisburg to find something more local. So when you're happy then with how your story looks and you're all ready to go, you can just go forward and press add to your story. So once it's on your story, your logo up here will change. You'll see a circle around your story. It'll be maybe pink or purple. That's how you know there's something on your story. So if you've ever done something by accident, you can think, oh God, I need to go up and take it down, or you might have it there intentionally and you want to check how many people have viewed it. So if you go back to click on your story, once it has loaded, so you can just see here it's posting. So once it has loaded, an option will appear down here on the right hand side. And if you click this button here that says highlight with the heart, that will bring it back to how I was showing you on your homepage, those circles, and it'll stay there for longer than 24 hours. Otherwise, after 24 hours, your story will disappear. So I think that's the basics of Instagram. I'll stop sharing now. And if anyone has any questions, or we can send those videos on later if they're any help for you to go through again. So best of luck with all your Instagram pages, and if any are on Instagram now, maybe you'd like to put your handle into the chat and we can all follow each other and support your heritage pages.
Thank you very much, Chloe. You covered an awful lot, so I mean, fair play.
Hopefully it wasn't too fast.
No, do you know what? It was exactly what, it was a very good overview of Instagram. And I think for me anyway, Instagram, I use it on a daily basis, but do I know how it works? No. Do I think the stuff that I put up on it reaches an audience? Yes. So thanks very much. And I think that's for everybody in the group. I think that's key. Don't worry about how it works. Don't worry about the terminology. Just get some stuff up there, get some content up there, and make some mistakes. And I think you said it, there's nothing you can't delete. Like if you...
No, yeah, anything you're unhappy with, or even a week later, some people, it's a lot of young people are quite fussy with how their grid looks. You know, they might want a specific theme, and every second post is going to be color and one's black and white. So they're constantly deleting and chopping and changing, and it's not that obvious if you do take it down again, so don't worry.
And one of the things that I noticed, just letting somebody into the room, one of the things that I noticed with Instagram, and it's instant. It happens, you put it up, and it's not that it's there forever and ever, amen. It's a shout out to people rather than a permanent poster that's in place. Is that about right?
Yeah, with your stories, it's quite instant, and I suppose that's why a lot of people are drawn to going back onto their Instagram app every day, because a lot of people don't save things to the highlights, so they want to get that information in an instant, and they know it's not going to be there forever. So that's kind of the trick of the app, especially with young people. It keeps them on it for hours.
Yeah. Is there a chance, do you think it's worthwhile, and I'll put this out to the group, do you think it's worthwhile breaking it into Instagram post, Instagram story, and then IGTV? And I'll tell you my thinking, because the posts are really good for pictures of the locality, and I'm going to show my Instagram page, Lord help us. And whereas IGTV is really effective, it's an effective tool for videos. So an interview of somebody local can go up on IGTV. And the fact that it all links back to Facebook. One of the questions, actually, now that I have you, Chloe, one of the questions is, I was asked about this only during the week, scheduling. So can you schedule on Instagram?
I haven't figured out how to schedule through the Instagram app directly, but I know if you have linked your Facebook and Instagram together, you can schedule a post on Facebook to go out on Instagram at the same time later that week. There's also another app that I use quite regularly called Hootsuite. I'll just put the name in the chat here. There are paid and free versions. So Hootsuite, you can get the app on your phone or use on the desktop, and you can link your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or usually it's about 3 different platforms together. And there's a calendar option there to schedule content across all 3 or 1 or 2 or 3 in one go for weeks or days in advance. And your captions and your photos and all that can go out. So it can save you a lot of time then going into each individual app specifically. Another 1 or 2 things I forgot to mention about Instagram. So it's constantly changing the app as well and add more stuff. So as well as your IGTVs, you have things called Reels. So Reels can you might have 10 photos that are nice. You want to put a little bit of music to the background and it'll kind of go across like a slideshow. So that's another one. And then just on your stories as well, there's 2 other apps that you can download for free through Instagram called Layout and Boomerang. Just type them in here. So Layout is kind of like, don't know if I'm spelling Boomerang correctly.
And I can put them up into the post. So
yeah, so Layout's kind of like a collage app. So maybe you have 2 or 3 different things you want to show, or you might want to do a before and after, or then and now, a photo from the 1950s, a photo from 2021. So Layout can be handy for you to overlay or overlap photos together to go up in one post or one story. And then Boomerang, a lot of people out for dinner and they're holding up their, kind of doing the same action, but moving maybe twice. So it's just kind of your phone zooming in and out or moving left to right or up and down. And look fun doing it.
Okay, thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions for Chloe? Chloe, you're going to hang with us till about 8, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll stay in the group.
Great.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay. I can, on the phone, I can put up multiple images on Instagram. I can't do it on the computer.
No, unfortunately, Instagram, the only thing it will let you do on the computer is your IGTV if it's longer than a minute.
Okay.
It won't let you upload posts like Facebook or anything to your story. You have to do that through your phone, unfortunately.
Okay.
Unless they're scheduled through Facebook or Hootsuite.
Yes, that's actually a good point to make. Yeah, if you schedule it, if you link your Instagram and Facebook together, so usually on your Facebook live page, if you go into the settings and type Instagram, there's a way to sign into your Instagram account and you can link the 2 together. And once that's done, then when you're scheduling on Facebook, you can click the options. That is actually one way you can do it all through your laptop. Because it can be nice sometimes trying to download all the content onto your phone to get it back up on the app.
There are I did a bit of digging around. There are options, but they tend to be paid options. So I'd imagine, Eric, a good workflow, if you're more comfortable working with your laptop, a lot of us tend to be, well, I know I am. So I would go, if I'm working on my laptop, I would go from Facebook. So I put everything on Facebook and then I tell Facebook, share it to Instagram. But if you're used to watching my content going up and you see it going to Instagram and then Facebook, you'll know straight away that, do you know what, your man's on his phone, because the phone works better to go from Instagram to Facebook.
Yeah.
So it's about having the workflow, and it's about going, there's a nice picture. I take it now. Where does it go from my phone? So it's put it on the phone, Instagram, Facebook, or you have a camera, you take your picture, you go home, you put it on your laptop, then the workflow is different. Then it goes from Facebook to Instagram.
Yeah.
Hassan, can I just ask you a question? Maybe you're going to cover it, but say if I go into Instagram, it goes into my own Instagram account, and then I want to go into one of the community ones, but like it doesn't allow me back out, or I don't know how to do that, how to back out of my own one and go into the other, the Medieval Bray Project or Bray Tidy Towns or whatever other Instagram I have. Do you know what I mean?
I do. Chloe, do you want to take this?
I can try and answer it. Usually back on your personal page, so the little circle to bring you back on the logo to your own page. If you look in the top right hand corner where your name is, there, or the left hand corner, there should be a little black arrow, and if you click that, it should allow you to add an account or sign into another account.
Okay.
So if you do that and then you type in the email and the password or the username of the other account,
Okay.
To flip between the two or to sign back out of either one.
Okay, but that they must only give you that option on the phone, because I was looking for that option.
Yes, definitely on the phone.
PC,
Yeah.
and it didn't seem to be anything there.
No, if you go, try on your phone over on your main page, your own page, up in the top left corner where your username is, it should be a little black arrow into other accounts.
And then say if it's an Instagram account that you have, okay, you have access to the Facebook of that Instagram account, but are there two separate users possible? Or in other words, can you have somebody who is accessing the Instagram for a particular community account to the exclusion of the person who can access the Facebook? You know what I mean? Is that the way it works?
Yeah, that is possible. Yeah, you can. So I'm involved in a few different organizations. So a few different, 4 or 5 of us are signed into the same Instagram account on the apps on our phone, but only through signing in through Facebook. So you don't have to be signed into both. You can just sign into the Instagram app on your phone, but you can still have that option to post onto Facebook without ever going into the Facebook or seeing the messages or stuff.
Okay, and how do you link your Facebook into Instagram?
So the easiest way to do it is when you're on your Facebook page and you're on your like page, if you go into your settings and type in Instagram, if you search that in your settings, you should see an option then to link your page. It does take a couple of minutes, so maybe I should record another video and showing how you link that, and then we could send it on later. Or I'm happy at some stage to help anyone one-on-one to go through that, because you kind of have to put in your passwords again and go into your Instagram app. It takes a few minutes, but once you've set up the first time, it'll stay working then for the rest of the time.
Okay, and then it seems to be easier to tag in Instagram, is it, than in Facebook?
Yeah, usually on Instagram, even if you're not following the page, you're usually allowed to tag them. Or once you search it, Instagram seems to have a very good search engine in finding things. Where on Facebook, sometimes you specifically need to have capital A for Mary, or you need to be following that like page, or you need to have them as a friend in your contacts. It can be a bit trickier to tag on Facebook.
And it's the same way, like it seems to have a setting on Instagram to tag, whereas on Facebook, it doesn't have an automatic.
Usually you need a photo going up on your Facebook to tag in the photo, or you'll need to put the @ before what you're about to type in. Sometimes that helps on Facebook to find the page that you want to tag. If you add the @ before you type V Sports or Mayo GA, you do @Mayo GA, come up a bit quicker than just saying Mayo GA and trying to search for it.
Okay, thanks very much. Yeah,
no problem. Is Pauline asking a question?
I am, yes. I'm a painter, so when I try to put up a rectangular painting, it goes into a square.
Yeah, so when there's usually an option on the right hand corner. If you tap it once, it will kind of make your a very square based app. So Hassan will show us later in Canva, but even when you're designing in Canva, it's really important when you're looking at different options that before you start designing for Instagram, you select the Instagram option on Canva, because otherwise the dimensions, after all your hard work, your lovely poster won't fit or won't go up. But if you have vertical rectangles, they work really well on your story, and there's good space for it there. Or you can add it to your story horizontally and just ask people to turn their phone around.
So I'm just going to touch on Canva, and I was looking at this. I have to thank everybody, of course, for sending me on this deep dive of Instagram, because I got to spend hours poking at it and hoking at it, and I got to call it work. So yay me. So what I've come up with is Canva. Now, one of the things we notice about Instagram, or we tend to think about Instagram, is that Instagram is for photographs. Can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
And you can see the Canva. So we tend to think Instagram is for photographs, whereas, to be fair, Instagram, you can put up posters in it. So for example, I knocked together a quick poster here, where it's just ICANN Instagram workshop. I'm putting a poster together on Canva, and I highly recommend you try this. is as simple as create design. It asks you, what do you want to do? Do you want to create a presentation, a poster, an infographic for those on the community sites? An infographic is a very powerful tool, a flyer, a simple logo, or Instagram post. Now you click on Instagram post and it creates the canvas for you straight away. So you don't have to, you're given a border to work within. What do I want to do? I want to put this in here. I'm putting just a simple design in place. And then I can edit this design by simply highlighting the text, editing the text as I need to. When I'm finished, and this is what I found really powerful, when I'm finished, I have an option to either download it to my computer, or I can download it to my computer. That's the first option. I can link it to my personal Instagram page. I can link it to my Instagram business page, or here, this is the magic one, I can schedule it. So let's remember, the scheduling costs money. And when you get somebody to automate something, or a machine to automate, somebody's going to want payment for it. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're scheduling posts, that sometimes it costs money. And if it doesn't cost money, why doesn't it cost money? And it doesn't cost money because they put a big Hootsuite sticker on it, or they put a big Canva sticker on it. Now, if you don't have a problem with that going up on your Instagram post, then do you know what? That's fine, absolutely fine, go ahead with it. But I just wanted to briefly show this. It's free until you decide to you really want to deep dive into it. And it's very, very straightforward to use. So if I was the homework giving type, I'd say to you, go to Canva. It's in your browser, so www.canva.com. Log in, create an account if you don't have one. Log in and mess around with this, because I just created a poster there in 3 seconds. But what if you added a picture, and then you added a bit of text to the picture, and then at a later date you decided, well, do you know what, I'm going to put that picture on my story? And it's a cascading thing. So start with the journey of 1,000 miles and all that. First step. So first step, get using Canva. That's your homework. Second step, plug something into your Instagram. And when I want to connect my Instagram, all I do, if I click on the Instagram personal page, it's asking me here if I have the app to scan the app. So all I have to do, I'm working on my computer, and this is back to what Eric, the computer versus mobile phone thing. If I have the app, I simply take out my phone, scan that, and my phone then has the poster that I was working on, all within the dimensions required. So that is a really, really handy trick to be able to do. If you feel that, you know what, you turn around to me and you go, Has, that's way beyond my technical level, that's absolutely fine too. Because what you can do is you can connect your Facebook account here, and or your Instagram account here, and it's simply click on Instagram. It's looking to connect. It's going to go off now. Hopefully the bandwidth will hold up. It's going to go off, and it's asking me here. It's saying, look at here, Hassan. We want to have access to the media because we need to be able to share stuff. You allow it, and then it creates the the link between Canva and Instagram. If the third option now is, if you still feel that that is way too much, simply download it. Download it onto your computer, and then email it to yourself, email it to your phone, or text it to your phone, and then from your phone, put it up onto Instagram. So there are ways that Canva is very, very versatile. So I highly recommend it. The next thing I wanted to show you was this idea of, so this is my Instagram page. The first 3 pictures are, I was in Lewisburg at the weekend. Picture, I was on the Reek. I took a picture of a stone, and that's the road out of Lewisburg. Now, the power of Instagram is, the title on this one is The Journey of 1,000 Miles, starts with the first step. The title. So photographs are a very, very, they're a powerful tool to have. So look at your grid And this is what people will look at when they come to you. Now, from a marketing standpoint, I use Instagram to market my name, to market myself as a trainer or as a photographer. You in your community sites will be using Instagram to promote yourselves and your sites and your community sites. So be sure that your photographs are engaging, but remember, they don't have to be completely just locked into Louisburg Killeen heritage, for example. You can put up a nice picture of a stone and you can add the narrative to that because your audience will click on that. The last thing I want to show you, and the second bit of homework, and this may require another workshop, but I'm more than happy to help you out with this one. There's a thing called a carousel. And a carousel, I found out, thanks to all of you, is a series of photographs put beside each other. So when you click on the arrow, it looks like they're all connected. So right now, this is a picture of on top of the reek. I'm hitting the left arrow key and it's panning from one side to the other. Now, the original picture was just simply a long picture as a panoramic picture, and it looked pretty and it was nice. However, if you can create a carousel, which means editing the photograph into 5 different segments, then you're creating and engaging something that your audience will engage with. So if you want your audience to engage with your Instagram, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to go, okay, there's a photograph. They're going to look down at the bottom. Instagram shows the 4 dots down at the very bottom to say that there are other photographs. So remember when Chloe said, if you click on the box in the corner, well, this is the other photographs. I just happened to make sure that my photographs were cut perfectly. So when I go next, 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 it seems like one continuous shot. So it's worth trying that out. So Canva is the first thing. And what you get, once you get your head around Canva, then my advice is, well, get a bit adventurous, try it. And if it doesn't work, delete it. So it's about engagement. So it's about stopping your audience in its tracks and getting them to engage with your Instagram post.
There's maybe one thing to mention about Canva that I find quite handy in uploads. So on the left-hand corner, when Hassan was showing us Canva there, there's an option in uploads to add different photos or images from your own device to your post. But it's very handy on Canva. Say if you upload an organization logo or a wall, we'll keep it there. So instead of having to re-upload it each time you make a new post or flyer or Canva, it'll and you just click it to bring it in. It's handy for consistency when you want to have your logo across or in the corner of the background of the different advertisements you're making or photos. So over in the left-hand corner, see where it says uploads, the cloud with the arrow.
Yeah.
If you click that and you have say the icon the logo, if you want to be using that again and again and again, you just click that, it'll come into your things, but it'll stay here and be saved here in Canva.
Oh, okay.
If you sign into Canva on your friend's laptop or you're on your phone or you're out and about and you're like, sugar, I forgot to bring the logo with me, it'll stay there on your account once you're signed in.
Okay, great.
So it can be handy than having to re-upload it each time.
I'll just say I absolutely love Canva and it's the best. I did a small training thing with somebody with Galway Public Partnerships there last week, and it's like my new toy. And it's so easy to use. It's not, I'll tell you, it's just
Antoinette, can I ask, are you paying for it? Are you using the paid tier? No.
No, just the play, like the non-pay stuff.
Yeah.
And the girl that did the presentation, and she said, if something is moving in it, if there's action or that, it draws people in. That static photographs are now boring. And like, it doesn't matter if it's a little man jumping in the corner or something daft. You mightn't like it, but it's not what you like. It's what is going to engage people.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of it.
Mhm.
So I just had a photograph of the lake of Loch Carroll, and I just put Gerard or Experience Connemara on a kind of a floating banner thing, and it got, I think, nearly 200 hits on Instagram. Now I'm only still
Wow.
learning on it, but it was just, I thought, would the phone ever just stop dinging? I learned how to turn off
Just
notifications.
mute notifications, yeah.
But it's just suddenly the last couple of weeks, Instagram is kind of now I'm getting it. And then I thought, this is great. I'll be able to see that it's because I was never kind of into it like Facebook, but as we have to just embrace it because we're missing a trick if we don't do it. Well, that's-
Yeah.
And just another thing with the if you're doing posts, maybe for all your hashtags, so you're kind of thinking, well, what did I use my hashtags before?
Mhm.
Is if you've got notes on your phone or somewhere that you can save it, like so you put in, like I'll do hashtag heritage walks, Connemara, Uachtarard, blah de blah, whatever it is, and then have them in there, and then you could just hit it and copy it and paste it in, so
Yes.
that you're not doing it all over.
I think that's one of the things where that's come up
Yeah.
again, where have your hashtags saved something. Don't be
Trying to
yeah, don't be making them up on the spot, because you
Yeah.
surely to God you'll, if you're like me, you'll spell it wrong or
yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Antoinette. Even in the stories, you know, on Instagram, when you go into that gifts option I was showing you where music and all the other things is, it can be really random things, but once it's moving in it, it is exciting for people and it does catch their attention.
Okay, that's brilliant. It's 8 o'clock. I'm more than happy to hang around if anybody has any questions. Thank you very much, Chloe.
Thanks everyone for having me
Thank
and
you.
the opportunity.
Chloe, do you think we might be able to get you back in the future? Not tomorrow now, Aaron.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning at 7:30. No, I'd love to get you back. I'd love to, and this goes out to everybody now, or those of you who could hang around. I'll pass the word on the email. Do you think it's worthwhile to flesh out the Instagram process a bit more? So we'll just do pushing up a post, pushing up a story, and then what's the third one I was thinking of? Do you think it's worthwhile?
Reels. Yeah.
IGTVs, or
Yes. Okay.
you'll be on TikTok next.
Yeah, that's the plan, Chloe. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. If I
Do
told them
another
that.
one, level 2.
Excellent. Look at that is absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. I think that's an overwhelming yes for
Yeah,
another
and just
Instagram.
to mention to people as well, like
Yeah.
I'm no expert, but what I actually did about a year and a half ago was, some of you might have heard of Louise McDonald. She
Mhm.
works kind of with Facebook and stuff as well. I signed up to her academy online, and I found that really helpful. And sometimes on her own social medias as well, she does post tips and tricks. And then she does different workshops for groups as well. I'm not sure, a couple of years back she might have done a Facebook one with some of the heritage groups. I might have been involved in that in the background watching mom one evening, but she was very helpful, and some of her tips and tricks she posts, or even sometimes if you go onto her Facebook or Instagram for ideas, or sometimes she's experimenting some of the new stuff that she's heard is coming through Facebook or Instagram. It's kind of handy to get on top of the trends or see what's coming next.
And don't forget, folks, ask. If you see somebody doing something good or something cool, or ask, follow them, and tell them, I'm doing a thing in Mayo. How do you do such a thing, or how do you do whatever? And it's all about the engagement. Okay, folks.
Thank you.
I just
Chloe,
want to say thanks,
yeah.
Chloe, for joining
Chloe,
us.
too.
And now the secret is out. Now you know how great Elizabeth Killian is. It's my daughter the whole time, so hands up.
We could all do it, Chloe.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Pauline, was you trying to get in there? My apologies.
Antoinette, do you do everything now on Canva? Is it
Canva.
Canva? And so you post onto Instagram through Canva.
No. If you want to design a special post, you could use the Canva and then stick it onto Instagram. Or sometimes, like, one person
Oh yeah.
sent me a drone footage last night, so I was just able to put that up directly as was.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
as well with that is YouTube is our friend. Like anything you need to know, you can find on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
But if you get stuck and you say, well, what did they say again about that bit? Is
Mhm.
I just went in and I had a look at it and I thought, okay, yeah, if I get stuck, I know it's there to work on as well.